There is a kind of silence that doesn't come from the world around you, but from somewhere much closer. A silence that does not wait for the room to be quiet, or for your thoughts to disappear, or for your problems to finally resolve themselves. A silence that lives beneath all of it. A silence that has been speaking to you your entire life, yet you were never taught how to listen. Silence is not empty. It is full of everything you've been trying to hear. So let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly listened? Not to your thoughts, not to the noise of your mind, but to the space beneath it. When was the last time you allowed yourself to become still enough to feel the presence that has always been here, waiting, patient, unmoved by all the storms you've survived? Today, we walk into that silence, not as an escape, but as a homecoming, a returning to the wisdom that has always lived inside you. Most people never hear silence, not because it's rare, but because they're drowning in their own noise. Thoughts that loop like broken records, fears that echo louder than truth, emotions that pile up like clouds before a storm. The pressure to perform, to achieve, to become something. The fear of not being enough. The fear of being too much. And we grow used to this storm. We take it as normal. We call it life. We call it me. But the truth is, you are not the noise. You are the one who hears the noise. You are not the storm. You are the sky it moves through. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that notices them come and go, like waves rising and falling upon the ocean of your being. The world taught you to think. It taught you to react, to plan, to worry. But it never taught you to listen inwardly. It never taught you to recognize the quiet presence beneath the chaos. And so you learned to trust the mind more than your own inner knowing. You learned to mistake noise for guidance. You learned to chase clarity through thought, not through presence. But thought is loud, presence is quiet, and life whispers its truth in the quiet. Right now, wherever you are, whether you're listening sitting down, lying down, or even walking, I want you to pause for a moment. Just pause. Take a slow breath in. Hold it gently and release. And now, notice the space after the exhale. That tiny gap. That small, almost invisible moment where nothing is being done. That is silence. That is presence. That is the doorway. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to stop thinking. Let the mind do whatever it wants. You're not here to control it. You're here to notice the space behind it. Listen, not with your ears, with your awareness. Can you feel that quiet? The stillness underneath, the calm behind your chest, the vastness behind your eyes? That is you. That is the real you, the one who exists before thought, beneath emotion, beyond identity. Silence has its own intelligence. It's not the silence of emptiness, it's the silence of depth, the same silence the ocean feels hundreds of meters below the surface, even when waves crash violently above. The same silence the forest holds between the rustling of leaves. The same silence you felt as a child when you stared into the night sky and knew, without being told, that something greater was watching with you. This silence is not fragile. It doesn't need protection. It doesn't need perfect conditions. It doesn't disappear when you're stressed or anxious or heartbroken. It's always here. You just forget to turn toward it. Your mind is a brilliant instrument, but it's not meant to be your master. Thoughts are like weather, sometimes sunny, sometimes cloudy, sometimes turbulent, sometimes peaceful. But no matter the storm, the sky is never harmed, and the sky never chases the clouds. When you chase every thought, when you believe every fear, when you cling to every emotion, you lose connection with the sky. You get lost in the storm, and you forget the one simple truth that silence reveals. You were never the storm. You were always the sky. The moment you stop trying to fix your mind, the moment you stop trying to force it into peace, you return to the sky. You return to yourself. When silence becomes your teacher, you begin to see life differently. You begin to sense what the mind never notices, because silence reveals things slowly, gently, like a hand touching water. It teaches through presence, not through arguments, through clarity, not through noise. Here's what silence teaches. 1. What is real and what is imagined. Most of what you fear is imagined. Silence dissolves illusions. 2. What is yours and what you're carrying for others. Much of your emotional weight was never meant to be yours. Silence helps you drop what is not yours to hold. 3. What your intuition has been whispering for years. Guidance rises naturally when the mind quiets. It doesn't shout, it simply becomes undeniable. 4. What your heart truly wants. Not what you were taught to want, not what others expect. What you want, beneath the conditioning. 5. Who you are without your story. Not the identity you project, not the wounds you carry, not the roles you play, but the presence that has always watched them all. Silence does not teach with words, it teaches with truth. Let's go deeper. Close your eyes for a moment. Take a breath. Slow, unforced. Notice the sensations in your chest, the rise, the fall. Don't analyze, just feel. Now, let your awareness gently expand as if it were a light growing inside your body. Feel the weight on your shoulders. Notice how long you've been carrying things that were never yours. Feel the tightness in your stomach. Notice the emotions you swallowed instead of expressing. Feel the tension in your jaw, the words you didn't say, the boundaries you never set. And now, feel the silence behind all of it. The silence that has never been touched by any of your burdens. You may feel a shift, a softening, a loosening, a quiet grounding. This is the moment where silence begins teaching, not by removing your pain, but by showing you that you are more than your pain, not by erasing your struggles, but by revealing the presence that has carried you through every one of them. Silence can be uncomfortable at first, because the ego fears what it cannot control. It wants to stay busy, it wants to overthink, it wants to plan everything, it wants answers immediately. But silence doesn't operate on the ego's timeline. Silence invites surrender, it invites trust, it invites non-doing. And for the ego, that feels like death, because the ego survives on noise, on problems, on identity, on past and future. Silence strips all of that away. In silence, there is only now. And now is the one place the ego cannot survive. That's why silence feels threatening at first. But once you pass through that thin layer of resistance, something remarkable happens. You meet yourself. Not the self constructed by society, not the self shaped by trauma or expectation, but the self that has always been here, the self that doesn't need permission, the self that doesn't fear judgment, the self that doesn't need to prove anything, the self that is already whole. As silence deepens, something else emerges, a subtle knowing, a quiet clarity, a gentle voice that is not a voice. This is intuition, your inner compass, your internal teacher. It's not dramatic, it doesn't shout, it doesn't argue, it simply knows. And when the noise fades, its knowing becomes unmistakable. You begin to sense which decisions align with your soul and which ones betray it. You begin to feel when you're acting out of fear and when you're acting out of truth. And slowly, beautifully, the life you're meant to live begins to reveal itself from within you. Not through effort, through alignment, not through force, through clarity, not through searching, through listening. Over time, silence becomes a sanctuary, a companion, a guide. You stop needing answers instantly because you can feel the right ones forming within you. You stop chasing people because you can sense who is meant to walk beside you. You stop clinging to the past because you can feel life pulling you forward. You stop fearing the future because you can feel the strength of the awareness that carries you, and the chaos inside you that once felt like a storm now feels like weather passing through the sky. Nothing sticks, nothing overwhelms, nothing defines you. You become unshakable, not because life stops being difficult, but because silence shows you that you are bigger than anything life can give or take away. So take one final breath with me, slowly in, gently out, and notice you are more here than you were when this began. More present, more grounded, more yourself. This is what happens when silence becomes a teacher. It doesn't make your life perfect. It makes you real. It makes you aware. It makes you whole. The answers you've been searching for are not somewhere out there. They have always been waiting for you in the quiet space within. And now, you know how to listen. In silence, I remember who I am. In stillness, I hear what life has been trying to tell me. Carry this with you. And whenever the world becomes too loud, return to the teacher that has always been waiting in the space beneath your breath. Welcome home. If this message touched something quiet inside you, if even for a moment you felt yourself return to the part of you that exists beneath the noise, then I want to invite you, gently, to stay connected to this space, not out of routine, not because it's what people do on YouTube, but as an intention, a small but powerful choice to keep walking this path of awareness, healing, and inner awakening. I create these reflections not to add more noise to your life, but to help you remember the silence within it, the part of you that is always here, always wise, always guiding. So if something in you felt seen, if a part of you softened, opened, or breathed again, you're welcome to subscribe and keep journeying with me, at your own pace, in your own time. One insight at a time, one breath at a time. Thank you for being here.